Hey, Booba Stars, it's your girl Shay Renee, and I want to welcome everybody back to my channel. Scoot up, hit the like button. I'm in the building. Alright, my bad, y'all. I had to let me get my volume right. I had to reset. Speaking of the volume, child, I was listening to like a voiceover that Megan Thee Stallion did, and it was way too loud. It was loud, Miss Fresh Girl. But anyway, hey y'all. Good morning. So I had to put my clothes, restart my clothes in the dryer. I fell asleep last night, and like, yeah, prayers, cause hopefully my stuff don't come out stinky. Ooh, and I gotta rewash it and all of that. Right, child, I do not want to have to deal with all of that. But anyway, y'all scoot up, hit the like button so I can slide, slide, slide. Yeah. Cause today, child, y'all know these days just be running all together. So shout out to that. Today Wednesday, I believe it is. Let me see. I got my handy dandy calendar right here. Hold on. Mm-hmm. It's Wednesday. Baby, it's Wednesday the 4th. So shout out to that. I know somebody said, that's what they said. I'm like, I know somebody said somebody's birthday is March the 5th. So I ain't got no business knowing that. That's Papoose. That's Papoose' birthday tomorrow, y'all. And it's crazy too. Hey, good morning, y'all. Hit the like button. Scoot up. Get comfortable. And it's crazy too because as long as Papoose been around, I ain't never known when his birthday is. You know what I'm saying? So, child, clock it. Clock it. I'm just saying. Child, I'm just saying. You know, actually, I think Remy Ma, if I had to guess, I would say Remy Ma is kind of low-key. Or she like a low-key man. Remember I was telling y'all yesterday, some women don't like men that be, you know, all in the videos dancing and stuff. You know, the Boosies of the world and, you know, who else? The Blue Faces. You know, some women don't like that. That ain't their speed. Hold on, y'all. Guess what? I promise. I done got into it with all kind of hoe. Think about what you putting on the line, you hoe. All your money and time, you hoe. Hey. Yeah, so don't be sorry, be mindful, hoe. Hey. Slide, slide, slide. Tell that bitch. Child. Shout out to that. Oh, it's a lot going on, Poop Stars. It's so much going on, y'all. It is. That like, I can't necessarily tell y'all about, but I'll tell y'all later. So shout out to that. Yeah, it's like that, you know. It be like that sometimes. It just is what it is. So, like, imagine I'm on vacation. You know, like imagine me being on vacation, right? Well, when you on vacation, if you don't got no house set up and all of that, right? Or even if you're just a private person like me, um, most people don't talk about being on vacation until they get back, you know? So, like, yeah, it's like that. So, shout out to that. It's not like I'm not going to ever tell y'all. I'm just not saying nothing right now, okay? Period. So, anyway. Now, we'll give y'all a hint, though. It's nothing bad like that. And whatever we chop it up about is, you know, basically like educational purposes. So shout out to that. But anyway, so, you know, I got the feeling that Remy Ma is just a low-key kind of woman. You know? I think she's low-key and she like a low-key man, you know? But, so, with that being said, I wonder if Papoose is a low-key guy or he was just playing a role for Remy. I don't know. You know, because then he then gets with Clarissa, right? Who is all out loud with it. And to me, she seemingly is like, no, when you was in your last relationship, you played it small, you know? Now, like, no, I don't know, like, it's like Clarissa want to see him. I can't find the right exact word, but let's just put shine there. You know, it is what it is. It's almost like Clarissa, you know, she likes loud stuff. It is what it is. She wants to love out loud. She wants to live out loud. And whatever Papoose has going on, she wants him to be loud and proud, you know, about it. But Papoose, again, though, he really does. He seems like a low-key kind of dude, you know. Low-key, laid back. It just is what it is. But yeah, his birthday is tomorrow, y'all, so that's crazy. Shout out to him. Shout out to that. We may or may not post Papoose on the blog. You know, I like to do birthday shout outs. So, y'all make sure y'all follow my blog. It's my comment section. It's one word over there on Instagram, okay? I appreciate that, appreciate that, appreciate that, okay? And Facebook, I really don't care about Facebook like that. And I don't, okay? Facebook is like my personal space. I turned it into a workspace, but then, like, imagine somebody, like, clearing out their desk. Yeah, nah, I just took one arm and swiped it all off. I said, we're not doing that, Miss Presser Girl, no more. You know, I need somewhere that I can, like, you know, just, like, be personal from, you know, just like, oh, I'm in a crappy mood, you know, and F off. type ish. You know, like if I want to say that, I want to say that on my personal stuff, you know? So, like, yeah. Whatever they do over there, subscribe, follow, comment, like, it don't even matter. But I'm just saying, you know, this is where you find me, okay? Come subscribe right here. And if you really, you know, really feeling generous, then follow me on my blog, okay? Where I do a little blog in that. But I don't really do too much personal stuff online, if that makes sense. It's not personal. It's always business, okay, for me, for real. Big business at that. So shout out to that. Oh yeah, come on now. Yeah. So anyway, y'all know I'm in manifestation mode. So the things I say, yeah, you know, it is what it is. I'm in manifestation mode, you know, so I might tell you that, you know, I'm about to warm it up, Chris, not for real, but you know, I might tell you that I'm about to go get my my Porsche vacuumed. You know, I mean, it just is what it is. So shout out to that, okay? Yeah, baby, truth is, listen, we living like that, okay? Yeah. We in full manifestation mode. It is what it is. Like, no, just no. Mark my words. Whatever you thought, this ain't that. So erase your memory. Shout out to that. Anyway, I mean, it is what it is. I feel like I gotta make that clear. You know, it gotta be crystal clear for all our new listeners and new subscribers, because I don't want nobody to, you know, I can't explain it. But it's weird, you know, if you lost in the South. So yeah. I cannot stress that enough, you know what I'm saying? I am in manifestation mode. So it is what it is. That means, you know, I'm manifesting. Okay? But that also means I'm in a spot where I mean what I say and I say what I mean, okay? It just is what it is. So shout out to all of that. But anyway, boo stars, it's your girl Shay Renee. I'm in the building and I'm excited about that. I'm feeling a little tired, but I'm ready to go. So shout out to that. Good morning and welcome to a new episode of my podcast. This is episode 36, I believe. So shout out to that. We just coming on around the mountain. The episodes is just, they running together like track teams, okay? And it just is what it is. I'm loving it. Yeah, McDonald's. So shout out to that. We're going to slow down. We're going to take an official break. I need some boxes. I need some boxes, so I guess I'm going to have to see if Jody can stop by. Somewhere and give me some boxes up here, because it is what it is. It is what it is, you know? I'm in that mode too, okay? Clock it. clock it. I'm ready to go. Child, I'm so ready. So shout out to that. Um, and you know, I haven't quite thought about like, you know, what's to be packed first and what's to be packed last. I'm thinking about stuff like that. And if I had to guess, I would say my miscellaneous stuff. My miscellaneous stuff can get packed up first because that's the stuff that's just sitting around anyway, you know, not being used every day. The stuff being used every day is the last stuff to be packed, like clothes, and dishes and stuff like that, you know, I would assume. One would assume. So anyway, shout out to that. Child, yes. I'm dealing with it. And then, you know, but thank God, because even though I have a lot of things on my plate, right, and I feel anxious at times, oh, I hate that. God is allowing me, you know, to um only see so much. Does that make sense? So yeah, I'm only looking at one thing at a time. You know, it started to feel really overwhelming, you know, trying to have so much going on. But now, you know, I'm just like, you know, this is going to be, you know, pushed off and this is going to be, and that's going to have to be there and that's going to have to wait. You know, like my surprise that I had for you guys, that's still coming up. That's still coming up. But I don't necessarily have to work on it too much anymore. It's pretty much ready to go. Just got to figure out the right time to get that going. But yeah, just, you know, just staying prayed up and ready, Pooper Stars. That's what I got going. But yeah, prayers, you know, I send my prayers out to anybody who may need them this morning. So shout out to that. Y'all know, y'all scoot up, hit the like button, get comfortable, get what you need. I don't know if you on your way home. Some people is, you know, counting down. Some people it's getting off at 6. Some people just pulled up at 6. There's some people on their way still. Some people in the bed still. Somebody brushing their teeth. You know, it's a lot going on. But if you listening, shout out to you and shout out to that. And if you came through, shout out to you and shout out to that. Your girl Shay Renee. What more can I say? Boom, boom, boom. I'm just walking in my blessings today. Okay, it is what it is. Yeah, shout out to that. You know, I can recall when I was depressed And I don't know. I hate talking about depression like it's, I don't know. I can't explain it, but I hate talking about it like it's over. Does that make sense? Because I mean, even though I do feel different in a lot of ways, period. So shout out to that. Thank you, Jesus, for that. I just feel like it's something that never goes anywhere for real, you know? I just think that it's levels to it. So it could, like, if level 5 is the highest, then, you might be at a, someone might be at a cool 1, you know? I don't know. But I will say this. Um, Dang. My bad. I lost my thought. It'll come back. I forgot what I was going to tell y'all about, being depressed and stuff like that. Dang, it was definitely something. It was definitely something. So anyway, I need that thought to come on back around the mountain. It just is what it is. But yes, y'all. Yes, y'all. Yeah. Today is a new day. Period. Y'all hold on real quick. I remember on Monday I told y'all Happy Wednesday. Y'all remember that? That's crazy. That was just pure crazy. Shout out to that. We here now though. Happy Wednesday, child. We done screwed up on that. So shout out to that. Oh, I smile. Excuse me. You look so much better when you oh. Oh, I forgot what I was finna tell y'all. That's crazy. I will say this though. Shout out to that. Cause I know one thing. Hold on, y'all. I will say this. Sometimes life can stop you from being grateful, you know? And I don't want to do that. I'm in a place now where, like, yeah, no, I need to stop and, like, marvel, you know, show off, shoot, reminisce, you know, before I keep going. But it's okay to be like, you know what? Not quite where I want to be, but not nowhere where I was, nowhere near where I was, you know. Shoot, stop and celebrate. Guess I'm in a place where I can finally just start to count my wins. You know, it is what it is. And then really nothing else matters, you know. Um, it is what it is, you know. Uh, that stuff builds character. I hate to say it, but a lot of hardships and stuff like that. It does. It builds character. Um, but yeah, what I was trying to tell y'all is I'm not exactly when spring break is exactly sure when my spring break is, but whenever my spring break is, that's when I'm going to hit the reset button. Okay. And season 1 of the podcast is gonna come to an end. It just is what it is. That's when our season is gonna end, and I'm gonna have to, you know, see what that looks like. Child. Hold on, y'all. Hold on, real quick. Child, remember when I told y'all this ain't funny. But remember when I told y'all that Team Mobile been getting on my nerves, and I'm thinking about leaving them. And this is what it is. I'm thinking about leaving them. Child, y'all tell me why they been like, oh Lord, they just been I don't know. But shout out to them though. They been trying to let me know that they ain't trying to they ain't trying to end this relationship. Y'all, it's crazy. It's like, man, y'all need to chill with y'all dusty, fugly, ugly selves. Sure, they just said what it is. Like now, get that customer service, get that customer service up, and would nobody be talking about leaving y'all. Sure, yeah, what it is. They better be glad. They better be glad. My boo ain't talking about it. Cause yeah, he the one. Yeah, he the one. Y'all ain't start sending him text messages, sending him messages about the discounts that we missing out on, and how y'all paying this and that, and yeah, y'all start texting him. But I'm telling y'all, they been texting me all kinds of stuff. It's crazy. My bill cheaper, building got a little cheaper. Child, like T-Mobile. Okay, but it shouldn't have took all of that. Y'all get y'all stuff together. Shoot, y'all still on notice. Yeah, I'm messing with Miss Press Girl. It just is what it is. Um, no, cause truth is, I'd rather do without than to do with subpar service. Y'all hold on real quick. Tay Diggs. Tay Diggs in a skirt. The Breakfast Club on Netflix. Now, I don't know if I talked about Tay Diggs in a skirt already, but Tay, ooh, Tay. Like, we already got Tay. We already got the other Tay. Did you know that, Tay? No. I'm being for real. Let's talk about it. I'm just playing. But no, Tay Diggs. You know we got Deontay. Ain't that his real name? But anyway, we got Eric and Tay, the one that do hair. Anyway, shout out Tay Diggs pops out on a red carpet in a skirt, a big skirt too. I like that kind, by the way. I like that kind of skirt. I sure do. I like that kind of skirt. You know, you can drop it like it's hot in that one. So shout out to that. Child, I said, okay. You know, like, I just wasn't surprised, y'all. I was not. Nope, not at all. Because I said, listen, this started with April. Do you how soon y'all forget? Like, no, he started that ish with April. Remember, he would buy her something to wear and then floss around the house in it. Child, that's not funny. But seemingly, I mean, that's what seemingly was going on. Like, in their relationship. It seemed like he would buy her something to wear and then put it on. And everybody was laughing and cackling and thinking they were so cute. And I was like, but wait a minute. I was like, somebody come look at this. Hell no. I said, but why? But I said, take the what and leave the... Baby, I was so like, no. I was like, we just not going to skip over that part. See, everybody just wants to skip over that part. Why? I don't know. I said, I just a motherfucker don't know. Okay? But like, no. Shoot, everybody was fixated on them and, you know, no. And I think it's because Tay is an actor. But I don't care. I don't care. Like, we wasn't finna gloss over that like a pair of lips. No, we wasn't just finna gloss over that one. No. Because that was dry. Period. He was just dry, dressing up like a girl at home. So, that was my reaction to Tay Diggs, you know, in the skirt. I said, look at Tay. You know, because he had the nerve to like, y'all saw it. Yeah, we all saw it. You know, it's Tay Diggs. It's Tay Diggs. So from the waist up, he looked great. He looked like Tay. You know, you know, you go. It was Tay, right? So you want to go in for a hug, like family. But then it's one of them things where you look down like somebody pregnant, or you know, or they got on your pants, or you know, something. You know when something just is off. It was one of them things. You know what I'm saying? It's like, wait, hold on, Tay, what Tay? Is that you? Child, look, there's one of them. So anyway, shout out to Tay Diggs. And that's that. Now, anyway, what else is going on in these internet streets? What I just say? I said Tay Diggs, the Breakfast Club on Netflix. Hot damn! I didn't even know the Breakfast Club went to Netflix, y'all. And I fear. I'm just saying that's not a good thing. I fear. It's not, because there was a clip of Jess that went viral yesterday. Funny. The clip was funny. I'm gonna tell y'all what was funny in a minute. But there was a clip of Jess that went viral, right? And Jess was talking about how, you know, they have moved to the Breakfast Club, and a lot of the Breakfast Club, well, they moved to Netflix. The Breakfast Club is now on Netflix, okay? And she was talking about how a lot of the fans feel left. Now, I don't think she can really say, but truth is, like, listen, it ain't jumping. Okay? The views are down. I would say, allegedly, seemingly, allegedly, things have changed. Okay? It just is what it is. But the way Jess put it, right, is that, like, the fans feel, like, left, in a sense, like, because they're on one platform, y'all left and went to another one, and so, in other words, the fans aren't following. It just is what it is, just like on Instagram, you follow somebody, they're not following. I said, well, damn, and now I don't feel so, like, like, now that was, sorry, Breakfast Club, but, like, that makes me feel a little better, because, like, when I do stuff like that, yeah, let's talk about it. When I do stuff like that, I feel the same way. My people really don't follow me around either. Yeah. But it just is what it is. Like, I understand it, but at the same time, you don't, you just roll with it. You don't let it stop you. Does that make sense? Yeah, sometimes you just got to do what you got to do. Truth is. And Instagram is my baby. Like, that's my first baby. Like, that's why I first started going live, But it is what it is. I had to leave Instagram. I left Instagram for YouTube. Shout out to me and shout out to that. Yeah, it just is what it is. I had to do what I had to do, okay? And so I'm guessing that that's what the Breakfast Club did, too. It is what it is. Like, listen, Netflix had the bag. It just is what it is. Now, me, as a content creator and a business person, I'm just wondering how long this, So, in other words, is this going to be temporary? If it's temporary, how long? Is this a 5-year deal? Is this a 10-year deal? Is this an 8-year deal? Is it a 2-year deal? Like, all of that type of stuff starts to come in my mind, because I'm thinking, like, will y'all be back? That's what I'm thinking. Truth is. But yeah, I didn't know the Breakfast Club had left. Unfortunately, I didn't. But now that she, brought it up, yeah, they gone. They absolutely gone, because we don't see any clips of them anymore. So shout out to Jess for putting that out there. Shoot, they if I'm being real, they needed Jess to put that out there. Shoot. So shout out to her. And that, because maybe, just maybe, people be like, oh, for real? Y'all on Netflix now? Let me check y'all out, type ish. Honestly, I think the problem with that is, I know it was easy to get boxing on Netflix, right? But boxing is different. Yeah, no, truth is, boxing is going to be different, y'all. Because the thing is, people go to Netflix for different things. Does that make sense? And, like, I just don't see them going to Netflix to watch The Breakfast Club. I just, I don't. Now, I see some people, yeah, like, okay, if they're over there, you know, I don't know. I can't explain it, but I have Netflix and I don't really see the connection. I don't see the connection for that to me. Like, when I'm on Netflix, I'm looking for a good movie. So if you're not a movie, then I don't know how well your show is gonna do on Netflix. Cause even everybody talk about Pop the Balloon too. And Pop the Balloon was very different on Netflix. It was. But I don't think it was as bad as everybody says that it was. Like people, I heard a lot of people say that they literally hated Pop the Balloon on Netflix. But, for me, I didn't necessarily hate it. I just saw that it was really, really, really different. Does that make sense? And I even talked about it. I said, like, they did a lot of things different. So, in other words, they probably feel like they commercialized it and made it better. Okay? Whereas the original creator, I thought that they might take some of the stuff from Netflix and, put it in their own, but no, they were smart and probably didn't want to get sued. They kept their stuff exactly the way it was. So shout out to them and shout out to that. Another thing that they were smart, they was extremely smart because, like, yeah, they sold Pop the Balloon and the idea and the likeness and all of that to Netflix, but they had a contract to where they could still be on YouTube doing their thing. See, Jess mentioned that too. She said that they are unable to work on other platforms and stuff like that. The Breakfast Club it's solely some Netflix. Their stuff is in Netflix right now. Period. Netflix can only do what Netflix wants to do with it. So, in other words, she was just saying that, like, I guess they can't put it on YouTube and stuff like that right now. She was saying, so now they have to be creative and try to get on other platforms. It just is what it is. They have to be creative. And I don't know if she was saying they individual content or Breakfast Club content, actually. But what I thought was funny about it is she was just about to start talking about the content that she is creating, and they cut her off. I said, oh, Lord. I said, now why they do that? You know what I'm saying? I'm like, why they going to do that, child? But anyway, shout out to, the Breakfast Club and Netflix, and all of that, right? And the deal, because I'm sure it came with some money. And this is the thing. Who knows? Like, I was thinking that too. Maybe what if the Breakfast Club, like, after Netflix, that's it? Who knows? Like, who knows? Who really knows what the play is, right? But I mean, shout out to the Breakfast Club who, made that move and did what they felt like they needed to do. I don't know. I really don't know. I don't know, y'all. I don't know. Because I tell y'all all the time, TV is in the dumps. It is. It's changing. I don't know what Netflix got going on. Netflix, give me a call, though. Give me a call, because I definitely think I can help y'all shake some stuff up over there. Yeah, truth is, it just is what it is. Yeah, no. But, I just, yeah, I tell y'all all the time, TV is, like, it is what it is. It needs some new eyes, if that makes sense. But I'm gonna take it a step further. Yeah, because that's what I do here. You know what TV reminds me of right now? It kind of reminds me of taking over Red Lobster. You see what I'm saying? That's what it reminds me of. Taking over Red Lobster. The people that's taking over Red Lobster and trying to save Red Lobster, they really don't know what to do, it seems like, seemingly, allegedly. It seems like, if I'm being real, Red Lobster has ran its course, It just is what it is. unless they find some really creative people to get up in there and shake some things up and move. Like listen, they got their work cut out for them. Yeah, truth is. And I feel like TV is the same way. I used to feel like, I'm creative enough to save TV, and I do feel like I am. Yeah, so shout out to that. But listen, if they was to call me up today, I'd be like, give me till next Wednesday, and my people will be reaching out. Truth is, I need some time. It is what it is, Miss Presser Curl, because like that's gonna be a job. That's like taking on Red Lobster. Okay, you understand? With a seafood bag, with crab bag. Like Lord, them people really didn't know what they were doing. They went and got a seafood boil bag, and it worked. It worked, for a second, but like no, 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 no. Call me Red Lobster. Call me, because a couple of ideas came to mind, but it is what it is, Like, that's some work. That's going to take some real work, like Rihanna and Drake had said. Yeah. So anyway, shout out to Netflix, shout out to the Breakfast Club, and shout out to TV too. Okay, all the networks that are trying to keep that thing afloat. But I'm gonna tell you like this: that app stuff is good, I guess, cause like like it's transitioning. That's what a lot of people like. We see it. Like TV is basically transitioning or converting over to apps. People be on their phone a lot. So how can we get people to watch the TV though? Y'all call me. I might have a couple of answers. Yes. Shout out to that. But I bet y'all won't put them on this internet for free. Yeah, no, I bet you I won't. Oh, yeah. So shout out to that. But I do say that, like, that's what's going on with television to me. It does. It needs to hire some new people like me, some of my pooper stars, and some of these other people, right, who have some of the answers. It just is what it is. Some of these people have some of the answers. Y'all know I was talking about 20 versus 1. It is what it is. 20 versus 1 is something that people enjoy. So why Netflix haven't called them? One of them, the best of them, the originals. I don't know, but I'm just saying. But I don't know. Because one thing about it, maybe it's a transition that's going to happen anyway, y'all. But it's your girl, Shay Renee. I got to get out of here. I'm in the building. I'm always in the building, Monday through Friday. And sometimes Monday through Sunday, Monday through Saturday. It just is what it is. I'm here. Shout out to that. Hit the like button, scoot up, and I'll see y'all on my next video. Bye, y'all.